Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Film Box Podcast, a movie podcast where each week we reach onto our shelves and dive into the films we own on physical media, whether it's a beloved classic we've watched countless times or a hidden gem we're experiencing for the very first time. From VHS and DVD to Blu-ray and 4K, we revisit, rewatch, and re-examine films throughout history, good or bad. I'm your host, Aaryn Souza, and I'm joined today by my good friends Connor Jameson and Jasmine Chapatwala.
Hello.
Hello.
And today we are taking a look at Wuthering Heights from 2026. Let's get into it. All right. Wuthering Heights has just come out. Connor, how do you feel about Emerald Fennell in her films?
Oh,
have you seen?
Yeah.
You've seen Saltburn. Have you seen 20th Century Woman? Or Promising Young Woman? Yeah. Sorry. 20 that's the Elle Fanning one.
Yeah. I've now seen Promising Young Woman. I have seen Saltburn, and I think I've told the story on the pod about how when I went to go see Saltburn, a group of kids were sitting in like the front row of the second set of seats, and they were just blaring porn sounds the entire time from a speaker.
Nice.
So that was fun. Definitely didn't enhance the movie, but it definitely didn't make it worse. Was not a fan. And get it out now. Not a big fan of hers.
Yeah. Okay. Jasmine, what about you? How do you feel about her films?
Okay.
Here's
the thing. I do like her films, but I tend to have like the opposite gen pop reaction. So like people really, really don't like Promising Young Woman. That's like my number one out of the three. Yeah.
I think it's fair.
Yeah, Saltburn's like 3, Wuthering Heights in the middle, but yeah. So
yeah,
I like her, but I was supposed to see her at a Q&A once, and I didn't know who she was. It was just for like the Saltburn thing. I was like, oh, like I don't care. I just want to see Saltburn early. Like it was like I was so excited to see it, and then she didn't show up, and they were like, oh, good. Don't worry, you got actually good, because when I looked up who she was and I found out she was Camilla Parker Bowles in The Crown, and I was like obsessed with The Crown at the time. I was like, thank goodness she's not here. That would have been like rage fuel. Like I would have been mad.
If you get a question in and you're like, I don't care about the movie. Why?
Yeah. How could you?
This is my first Emerald Fennell film. Admittedly, maybe not super into Saltburn or Promising Young Woman, although I should probably check them out. I get the gist though. From Wuthering Heights, I pretty much get the gist of the type of films she makes and the kind of filmmaker she is. But this is a very interesting one because this is an adaptation. I wanted to ask, like, I guess right off the top, book adaptations. Do you like when they're faithful or when they take some liberties? Because that's kind of been the big topic of discussion on this movie.
So for me, at least, when they take liberties, I think it's fine. I'm watching them as like 2 separate entities. However, one of my favorite adaptations is The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and that's like extremely faithful to the book. Also directed by the author, so that might have helped.
Yeah, that also helps.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm not like, I don't need that. I don't need that for it to be good. I can appreciate it when it is, but I don't like look at it as like, oh, I'm so glad it absolutely did this, unless they take insane liberties, and then that's like a different conversation.
Yeah, that is definitely an important part of the conversation.
Yeah. I'm in the boat where as a filmmaker, you can do whatever you want, really, as long as you know what you're doing, I guess. Because when you are adapting a book, you have to be faithful to at least the core tenets of the book. And from there, like, you can, if you want to take some liberties, you want to change some things up, because if you make a 1-to-1 adaptation, not always going to work.
Yeah.
But I think where some movies struggle is when you take too many liberties and you forget the core themes of the book. It's kind of like, why did you tie this to the book if you're kind of missing every point the book made? At this point, it's more of like a fan fiction.
Right. And we're definitely going to get into that, but I think your point is true, and it reflects your, I know your specifically, but also for me, our enjoyment of movies like 10 Things I Hate About You, which is an adaptation of Shakespeare, but set in high school in the modern day, and it's like that's an example of taking liberties, but still making it faithful to the core thematic elements of the text. Whereas, you know, again, I think we'll get into it a little bit, but something like this maybe isn't so faithful to the core thematic elements.
Well, Clueless as well.
Yes,
like
Clueless is also an
Emma.
adaptation. Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty insane.
Well, we're gonna dive in all about Wuthering Heights, but first we got to talk about what we've been watching lately. So Jasmine, we'll start with you. What's new on your watch list?
So new on my watch list, I watched 3 movies since we last spoke. Eyes Wide Shut.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Felt like that was a necessary watch.
So culturally relevant in
exactly.
Today's
I was like, let
world.
me give this a rewatch. I'm just curious.
Let me see what's really going on.
Yeah, exactly. Wuthering Heights, and then The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Nice.
That was a rewatch. Actually, they were all except for Wuthering Heights. They were all rewatches.
Nice.
Yeah.
And do you have something to drink?
I do. It's like seltzer and tequila.
Nice. Nice.
I was like, I don't.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
what's the choice brand of tequila?
oh, it's just Casamigos, so it's not
Okay.
crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I mean,
no
it's in
free
one-
shout outs, but
Listen. Yeah.
I work for the company that distributes it in Connecticut, so I'll take the shout out.
yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Um,
Cheers.
I have seen, let's see, 3, 6, 8 movies since we last recorded.
Wow.
Starting off with my Criterion challenge for last week, Coup de Grace, which is a 1976 Russian film. I feel bad not remembering. German, maybe? Might be German. I think it is German. Basically, it's a film about the time period after World War One, during the war in the Baltic regions, and it's about a military officer who comes to a small town on the front lines of the war, and his relationship with one of the women there, who he's had a long-standing relationship with, and basically, like, thematically, how war creates people who can't think about or process anything other than war. And so, you know, this main character, he essentially becomes like a shell of a man because all he knows is how to serve in the war. Up to the point where, you know, he ends up shooting the woman at the end of the movie. You know, it's pretty heartbreaking. Very good movie. Directed by Volker Schlondorf, which is it's a great name. So definitely check it out. It's on the Criterion channel. So, you know. Follow that up. I needed something a little bit more pleasant, so I watched Phantom Thread.
Nice.
Slightly more pleasant.
Is
That was
it?
a good one.
I mean, this movie's just a banger. Still in my top 4 on Letterboxd. Then I followed up with a first time watch. I have a couple first time watches here. The Town, which as a Bostonite, I can or a Massachusetts native, never watched The Town before, is a disgrace. But I have finally watched it. It's a 5-star masterpiece. That movie rips. It's so good. The shootout at Fenway, I mean, come on. And then I followed it up. That day we learned of the passing of Robert Duvall, which is very sad, and that one very much impacted me personally. I watched Network for the first time, which features him in a pretty prominent role. That movie is incredible and also very scary because literally that's what things are like today. Follow that up with the movie GoldenEye, the Bond film from 1995, which I did not like at all.
Interesting.
I've only seen, I think, 2 Bond films in my life. Not a Bond guy. Never grew up a Bond guy. Don't really get Bond. And my opinions were proven with Golden. People are like, this is like the best Bond. And I'm like, this was not good. And then I put a video out on YouTube and on socials. All the President's Men, they've released, Warner Bros. Home Entertainment released a 4K steelbook of this movie that is in my top 4. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I pre-ordered it. It came in, watched it immediately. One of the best looking transfers I've ever seen. It's absolutely phenomenal. And still one of the best and most poignant movies about journalism that's ever been made. Followed it up with this week's Criterion challenge, which was Bound, which is the Wachowskis' first feature film. And I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I was much more interested in the first half of the film that was exploring the secret romance between the 2 main characters rather than the noir crime gone wrong story of the second half. But Joey Pants is excellent in the movie. And finally finished out my watch with my personal favorite Robert Duvall movie, which is 2003's Open Range, which is an absolute classic. The movie that I was shown this movie probably a little bit too early by my father, who loves Westerns. And it is the movie that when I think of Robert Duvall, I think of Open Range. I don't think of The Godfather. I don't think of those other films. I think of him as Boss Spearman. At 72, making this movie, it's incredible. So that's what I've watched. And today I have a Voodoo Ranger IPA, a Juice Force IPA.
Interesting.
We're going to crack that open. It's very good.
I don't strike you as an IPA guy.
I'm typically not, but this is really smooth.
Interesting.
Nice. Cheers.
All right, Connor.
Cheers to you as well.
Cheers.
Hold on one sec. So I've only seen a couple movies because I had a reading project I wanted to get done.
A reading project? What is this? High school?
Yes, actually, because I saw Wuthering Heights. That's the first movie. And then I read Wuthering Heights.
Oh,
okay.
my gosh. I have so many questions. How did you get through it?
Audiobook.
The audiobook.
Fair.
So you didn't read it, is what I'm hearing.
I processed it.
You listened to it. It still counts. It still counts.
Yeah. Like, it's still up here.
Yeah.
Because I don't own it. I wasn't going to buy it. But we're going to talk about it. I want it, and I'm going to have some strong takes on it. I want to be very knowledgeable about it.
Hey, I appreciate the commitment. I went out thrifting the other day, and I tried to look for Wuthering Heights in novel form. I did not find it, and that was the end of my search.
Listen, man, Old English is fucking tough.
Dude, I can't.
It is. I'm
like listening to it, and I'm like, I'm not going to say it here because it's very outlandish, but the way that they say speak in old time,
it's like spake.
No.
It's the other one.
It's the E word.
Oh no.
The first time they said
slur version.
Well,
oh my God.
It's not a slur, but it's the first time I heard that I almost slammed on the brakes. It's like, okay, now I see where Emerald Fennell was coming from.
Yeah. When I reread it recently, I actually just took a picture because I remembered it was a difficult read. And then it was like page 10, like not even, we just got to double digits. And I just took a screenshot of like the first paragraph on it's broken English that you have to decipher because the person can't actually speak proper English at that time. Like it's like not just broke. It's not just 1800s English. It's broken 1800s English. Like you're just, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It's a hard read.
There is a paperback with a modern English translation.
No, don't
No,
do
can't
that.
do it. Can't
You
do
got to
it.
suffer.
There's no easy roads to knowledge.
Yeah,
If I have
honestly.
to learn what the word for speak or spoke is, everyone has to.
Yeah.
But after that, I needed a palate cleanse, so I watched one of my more favorable rom-coms. I watched Love, Rosie.
That's a good one.
So good.
After you sent me a text about
Yes. So I was just scrolling Twitter, and someone posted like a video of Paul Mescal watching Love, Rosie, and he was getting a little emotional. And I was like, "It's my guy. It's my guy right there."
We back when we did Connor's 25 favorite movies, the tier list, which had Love, Rosie on there, Sam and I both trashed him for that take. But apparently it's justified, so I don't know what to think anymore.
Yeah. Maybe I know ball.
There we go.
Maybe.
Speaking about knowing ball, my next movie was my Criterion, and it was The Red Shoes.
Ooh.
And do you ever just watch a movie and your first thought is like, I need a cigarette. That's how good this is.
Any movie from the 1970s.
Honestly, for me, any movie that has like a 15-minute ballet sequence,
Yeah.
I'm out. And, it was so good, I bought it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Love that.
got the
Hell
Criterion.
yes. Nice.
Well, technically, I didn't buy it. I did my sister's taxes, and as a thank you, she bought it for me.
Nice.
So
Even better.
kids, learn how to do taxes. You will get free Criterions out of it.
Speaking of Criterions, just real quick, there is a sale going on Amazon. So all Criterion 4Ks are 30% off, but there are some that are an additional like 30% off on top of it. Yeah. So like I was going to pick up Thief on Criterion for like $20 when it's normally like 45 or 50. So definitely check that out.
Yeah.
Is that because the Barnes and Noble Criterion sale is going on?
No, the Criterion's doing its own sale that's like a limited time sale for 30% off, but then for some reason on Amazon there are some titles that are an additional like part of a deal that are an additional 30% off.
That's
Amazon's
amazing.
got to slash them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Like don't buy over there, buy over here.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
So next up, I watched my next Criterion challenge movie, which was The Blood of a Poet.
ooh.
Could not tell you what it meant, but it is absolutely entrancing. It is so artistic. It's like a 4-segment film about one of the segments is like an artist who is like brought into like the art dimension. Another segment, it's kids playing like in a snowball fight, and then one of them just kills another kid with a piece of granite. And then the last one is like the kid's guardian angels, or before that, this guy is playing cards over the dead kid's body, and then the kid's guardian angel just like takes the kid away. Again, it's French. There's barely any words in it, but it's a ride.
Sounds like a movie.
Yeah. And then the last movie, Cinemark started doing the mystery movie of the month, which I went to. It was How to Make a Killing. I am so happy. I thought it was going to be Scream 7. I do not want to watch Scream 7. But How to Make a Killing, I thought it was pretty good in the moment. Now that there's been a couple days, there's some things that I didn't like as much, but I think this is the role that Glenn Powell should keep going for, do more character work. I think he is extremely talented in that regard. Like, obviously, he can get jacked and be an action figure, but I think roles like this really allow him to showcase his range.
Fantastic. I got an email invite to that showing, and it was like the invite was like, we'd like to invite you to how to make a killing as part of the AMC Screen Unseen series. Do not tell anyone about this, what the movie is.
Thank you for not telling me.
Guys.
Don't tell me then.
They already told everyone on Reddit. Like, it was one simple Google,
Yeah, I mean, it was fairly obvious, but like the email literally was like, do not, under penalty of death, you must not tell anyone that this movie.
They were monitoring our text. And as soon as you said, I know what it is, the sniper was trained on you.
Oh, yeah. I saw red dots. I saw like
the red
5.
dot on the
I was
back
like,
of your
whoa.
head too. That was the one that was closest to pulling the trigger.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got a Corona.
Oh, yes.
Fire.
I was going to ask, and then you beat me to it. I actually had it in my mind to ask.
It's okay. You weren't going to ask. You don't care.
I was going to ask. I want to find the... Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Hold on. I'm good. This is great podcasting. I'll tell you what right now.
That's fine.
Yes. You're invited. Important. It's in red in the email. Important. As part of AMC's Screen Unseen program, guests will not know what film they're seeing until it begins. Please keep the title of this screening strictly confidential.
Yep.
Woo.
Meanwhile, everyone could have guessed it.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly not me.
I also like to sometimes Connor, you haven't done like virtual screeners, but Jasmine, I don't know if you've done virtual screeners. Well, like my favorite thing is you do a virtual screener and then on the screen it pops up immediately. Like if we catch you recording this, it prison time or fines of up to $100,000. I'm like, fuck.
I'm like, let me just cover my mic
am I
real
accidentally
quick.
recording something I don't want to be?
Yeah,
please.
Literally.
Not that I would anyways.
They gotta put that up
Agreed.
at the Cinemarks and all the movie theaters around there.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And you have a Corona, as you already said that. So let's dive in. Let's dive into Wuthering Heights, shall we? So Wuthering Heights is a 2026 period drama romance adaptation of Emily Bronte's novel, written and directed by Emerald Fennell, who, again, at the top we spoke about, has also directed Saltburn and 20th Century Woman. Promising Young Woman. Wrong one again. I get those confused. Cinematography by Linus Sandgren, who I don't have the other movies on hand that he has done, but he has done quite a few. He's very prominent.
He's going to do Dune 3.
He is doing Dune 3. Distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures and released February 13th, 2026 with a runtime of 136 minutes. This movie had an estimated budget of $89 million. Where is it at gross-wise? I'll ask you where it's at right now along the way.
I can see it being at 90 already.
Yeah, I think I feel like it's definitely like very successful. I'll go 95.
94. Very close.
Oh,
Amazing.
Very, very close.
we're getting better at this.
You are getting a lot better, I will say. Early on, it was like this movie made $5 million, and it was a $500 million blockbuster.
It would be like, how much did Jurassic Park make? 10 mil.
$6 in my left nut. I don't know.
Yeah,
right. So obviously this movie just came out. We don't own it on physical media. But if you want to watch it, it is available in theaters, so you can check it out still in theaters. And frankly, I will say it's pretty worth seeing in theaters. This is a movie that looks very good.
Yeah.
But before we get into the things that we like and didn't like about this movie, we got to talk about what the people think about it. Connor, why don't you bring us through the reviews?
Yeah, so it's in, a little better than average. It's 6.3 on IMDb. 59% with the critics, 77% with audiences. So
wow,
the audience likes it a bit more. It's obviously, if you have any sort of social media presence, widely debated though.
Yes.
So take that what you will. But so this is tough because we'll have to go into Roger Ebert first. They give it a 2 out of 4. So that's neither high nor low.
Just right in the middle.
Yeah, this is Thomas Laffrey that I'm pulling this from. Just a little snippet. In that, and with already countless film, TV, and stage adaptations of Wuthering Heights, Fennell is more than allowed to mine her own impression and memories of the text. But if modernizing the setting with anachronistics, choices in music and design, and leaning into the inconsolable longing between the tale's stubborn and destructive lovers was her priority, you can't help but wish she'd really committed to the bit.
Definitely something we will speak about. Do you have an opposite review for this?
I have a 1-star and a 10-star.
Oh, so we'll just, I'm not going to play the stinger then. Let's just read both.
What do you guys want to start, positive or negative?
Negative.
Yeah.
Bad news first.
Sure. Bad
Yeah.
news.
That's the way
yeah.
I wrote them down anyway.
Good.
So
I was going to do it that way anyways.
Yeah.
So, yes. Choice is an illusion. So this is from Scott H. Odom, who says, classics are classics for a reason and don't need unnecessary and forgettable adaptations. Wuthering Heights is no different. I don't understand the fascination with the two leads here in Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie. Neither one can carry a film, and together the film just feels even more empty. Unfortunately, this won't be the last time a classic gets an unnecessary and ridiculous adaptation, but people should vote with their wallets and skip nonsensical adaptations like this. 116 people found this helpful.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But the 10-star coming from Callisto.
Yep. That's a name.
That's the name. Who said, I really enjoyed it. Anyone comparing this to the book and feeling outraged have completely missed the promotion of this movie. It's a separate adaptation using the character's name and loosely based on the story of Wuthering Heights. Does that make it any less enjoyable? No. It's a great escapism and more so. It's a movie with a clear beginning, middle, and end, which feels like a rarity these days. No ambiguous ending. What you see is what you get. The production is next level. The set designs were phenomenal. Outfits absolutely beautiful. Casting 1,000 out of 10. It's an enjoyable movie. Surprisingly, not as spicy as I thought it would be. It would be too complimentary. I would recommend seeing it if you love anything romance, drama, period. You will love. 99 people found that helpful.
Wow.
So I take issue with part of this review specifically because the person says it's good escapism. And like this movie maybe is one of the more depressing movies I've seen in the last year or two. I wouldn't necessarily classify that as escapism.
But I like that they had to specify this has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Unlike some movies that just start at the end and then they're over.
Yeah.
They start the middle, there's an ending, and then it jumps to the beginning.
Or some movies that just have a middle and then it's over. Then it's
The
it.
only movie they've ever seen is Pulp Fiction.
That's it. It's called Aaryn just flipping through channels, seeing like happy
Honestly,
feet, and then turning it on or turning it off.
I'm gonna make a short film where the whole concept of it is now it is me trying to find something to watch on TV, but the movie ends before I find something to watch on TV. So you just watch me flipping the channels, and that's it. There's no there's no beginning, and there's no end. Oh, Nathan, what do you think of this idea?
He's all for it.
No, that's angry.
Aww.
This is going to be a 2-minute short film of me scrolling the channels, and then it ends. Because we don't need beginnings and ends anymore.
Honestly, I thought you were going to say I'm going to make a short film that just starts in the middle. It's an interesting concept.
It's only in media res, and then that's it.
There's no, here's how I got here. There's no character introductions. It's just gotta know.
It's like, so this is essentially what I want to make. You know, like what is it? Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol that starts with the other agent. Yes, I think so.
Yes.
That's the one where he climbs out of the building.
Yes, and then gets
Tom
shot
Cruise.
by Leah Seydoux.
Yes. So what I want to do is make an in media res intro where he takes the case and then he goes to like escape and he jumps out of the building and then the movie ends. And so you've caught now the middle of the action. You don't know why he's there and doing what he's doing, and you don't know how it resolves. All you know is he has grabbed a suitcase and jumped out of a building. And you don't see if he lands it. You don't, and it's cinema.
Love that.
Experimentalism.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk. Or actually, Connor, you got to bring us through the plot of this movie. So we are going to do from this point forward a blanket spoiler alert because we are going to be talking about this movie in its entirety throughout this review. So if you don't want Wuthering Heights spoiled, I don't know why you're listening to this pod first before watching the movie, but go watch it and then come back, and we will we will wait for you right here. And then we're going to spoil it. So Connor, why don't you bring us through the rough plot of Wuthering Heights?
Yeah, so since this is a very new release, we're not doing even the abridged version. We're just taking what Rotten Tomatoes says, basically, which is tragedy strikes when Heathcliff falls in love with Catherine Earnshaw, a woman from a wealthy family in 18th century England. That's
fantastic. So let's talk about what works. And I think I'm just going to start here with personally, and I don't know how you guys will feel about this. I felt that Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi had good chemistry in this movie, and I felt like they worked pretty well. Now, the casting, we can definitely discuss.
We'll get there.
But I feel like their performances played well together.
I thought they were all right.
Okay.
I liked it.
Good.
I thought they had
good.
pretty solid chemistry.
Yeah.
I know that's part of like marketing right now too, is they're like pretending they're having this like weird little
they're doing
love affair.
they're doing the Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell thing from anyone.
Yeah.
Are they?
I'm not buying it though. Like, what do you mean you bought you guys matching rings? You're a weirdo. Like, I'm so sorry. You have a husband. He has a long-standing girlfriend who he won't claim, but you know,
that type
He's
of
too
marketing
busy reading.
Yeah, that type of marketing can only work if both people are fully 100% in and they do the most. Like, the reason it worked for Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell is because they were going on vacations together and she was hanging out with his family at his home.
Yeah,
his girlfriend broke up with him because of this. Like, that's what this movie needed.
That's commitment. Honestly, if Margot Robbie had gotten a divorce over this movie, I think we might have a better perception of the film.
And
that's my hot take.
Sydney Sweeney also break off her engagement? Like, that's serious.
Well, now she's dating Scooter Braun, so it's like, what are you doing, girl? Come on.
I feel like that's exactly perfect for her.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to your hot take in full later on, Connor. We can speak in more depth about it.
Yeah. What I liked though, there's a couple things.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. Owen Cooper, man. I know I shouted him out after me and Aaryn watched Adolescence. I mean, this kid's on a phenomenal trajectory. Like,
absolutely.
Spoiler alert, best actor in the movie for me, or best performance in the movie for me. Absolutely incredible the way he is portraying this character. I really wish he had more screen time, but I'm also glad he wasn't in the movie longer. Don't worry, buddy, you got a good movie coming soon.
I wrote down that the young versions of Heathcliff and Catherine are really, really good.
Yeah.
They were both excellent. I was
agreed.
Quite impressed with their performances. Jasmine, what about you? What did you like?
Obviously all the visuals. So like aesthetically, like the fog is insane. I think like costume, just even when they have like the close-ups of their faces, like you can't look at a frame of this movie and call it ugly. Like, even when it's meant to be, it's all just gorgeous. So, like, to me, no.
I can. There are a couple.
God.
There are a couple.
Really?
There's a couple.
one thing.
What do you,
That-
oh my, okay.
We'll talk
I
about
feel
It's
fair.
well, I mean,
It
we
was
can bring it up
aesthetically
now.
working for me.
Oh, one of my highlights was the cinematography and the production
Okay.
design. I say for like 90 to 85 to 90% of the film
Okay.
on point, top tier. There was 15% where I was like, this is disgusting.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Fair enough.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, there's a couple points. We'll get to that. More movies as an extension of that point. More movies need to utilize darkness and low light. We've gotten into a stage where we were like, we need even flat lighting so we can do all of the cinema or all of the visual effects we can post production. But it's like when you just properly design a set and light something only by candlelight or only by firelight, it looks incredible. When everything's in darkness, it heightens the mood. You know, the Wuthering Heights, the estate felt dingy and dark and cold because it was lit that way and it was filmed that way and everything was lit by dim candlelight and everything was like cool gray tones or blue tones and not just like, you know, even flat lighting. It quite impressed me, and more movies need to do that. I liked also like the production design of the mansion and how it contrasted with Wuthering Heights being like this rundown sort of estate versus this like really built up mansion.
Yeah,
Some of the rooms,
Cross Grange, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Some of the rooms of the mansion were a little like, okay, well, this is a little weird. But I also feel like that was more director vision than production design. There's one in particular that I'm
skin
speaking
room?
to. Yeah. Okay. Can we just talk about the skin room since you brought it up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna dive into this.
Baffled.
A completely incorrect interpretation of a skin room by Emerald Fennell, because a skin room in this era was a real thing.
Yeah.
But what it was like a small like wooden, essentially like a box that encapsulated a bed that was called a skin room in this time period. Emerald Fennell read skin room and said, this is room made of Margot Robbie skin. And that's just wrong. Oh, God.
Yeah.
But don't you get the metaphor? She's trapped in her
No.
own skin.
No, it's wrong.
Yeah,
It's
no.
on the nose.
Yeah.
Or it's her leg.
It's on her cheek, I guess. I don't know where the freckle was from.
Yeah,
Her leg.
I don't know if I want
They
to
said
know.
it's her leg.
Oh, so yeah, it's on her leg.
Good
Yeah.
God.
I personally, I did not like the Grange at all, or that.
Oh, interesting.
the design. I thought it was incredibly boring. It did not feel lived in at all, especially when
Interesting.
you compare it to the other movies we've already seen.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Uh,
That's very true.
It is so cold, so empty. Like there's barely any like warmth to it. Even when like everyone's living in it, it feels so hollow. And it feels like a set too, like not like an actual house that they found.
Interesting. I felt that in pieces, but I also felt like some of the design was actually quite good. Quite I can't think of the word, but it's there. Entertaining. It's not the right word, but that's the one that's coming to my mind.
I mean,
Satisfying.
satisfactory.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You glitched out for me.
That's fine.
For me, it's just like once I get taken out of the immersion once, it's so hard to get back into it.
Yeah.
So if I see like one room that looks like a set, you can't try to convince me that they're back in a real house.
Yeah, there's one scene in particular. I guess I'll just talk about it now since we're kind of talking about it. The scene where Catherine's on the swing talking to Isabella, it's like that is a set. That is fake
for
designed foreground with fully digital fake background.
Yeah.
It was not ideal. But what else did we like? Because there's definitely still some things that I want to discuss that we like.
I mean, I shouted out Owen Cooper, but I think the other side characters are also giving a lot to.
Yes.
Like Allison Oliver is really good as
Excellent.
Isabella.
Hong Chow really
as
good.
Nellie. Yeah, she's. I don't think she's ever been. She's never given a bad performance, even if she's in like a not great movie. Shazad Latif as Edgar, really good as well. And then I also wanted to shout out Martin Clunes as the dad. Just just throwing heat.
Yeah.
Unhinged.
Exactly. You got to give something, I guess.
Yeah. Hey. You get hired for a job, you do the job well. That's all you can do. Jasmine, what about you? What else did you like?
I liked when it got a little freaky.
Okay.
It never really ever gets that crazy like it's advertised to get. Especially when Margot Robbie was talking about her friends howling like a pack of hyena. Like, no, there's no
definitely did not
serious.
have that.
Yeah, no. But I do like that it gets a little freaky, and I like the ways it gets a little freaky. Yeah, and honestly, I really do like pretty much every casting choice, almost every casting choice.
Almost.
Well, yeah, I feel like the two main ones that's something to discuss for sure. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, aesthetically it was pretty. It was a little freaky. I liked the love story. So I did read it when I read it and reread it, and I feel like
I thought you read it when you didn't read it.
Yeah, thanks.
To find out that you read it when you read it is
No, I just meant like I read it a long time ago and then I reread it. So
okay.
It's fresh in my mind. I'm not mad at the way she just focused on the love story, though I do understand like people being upset over that. But I feel like from page to screen, we shift from Nellie's perspective to Catherine's. And I think that does like change the movie a bit for the like changes the book to film medium in a way that I think works. So I don't know. I liked the little changes.
Yeah. It's like what I was saying earlier. Like that's one of the liberties I'm fine taking because like in the book they really don't do much. Heathcliff and Catherine. Yeah. It's more of like the psychological element of the relationship that's really under the microscope. So I mean to really emphasize the physical aspect, go for it. Just make it good.
Exactly. They're both just thematically very different. So I wasn't mad at like the shift of like that whole aspect of it.
And as an extension to that too, just like as a more blanket statement, I like the lovers to enemies plot structure. I think it's always a fun plot structure. And beyond that too, we're going to talk about Emerald Fennell, I think a fair amount in this. To give her some flowers, I think she's very talented at directing a scene and creating a vision. There is a clear vision here, and whether or not it is a proper interpretation of the material that she's working with is one thing, but she's very good at giving scenes a lot of life and making me feel the energy and tension between characters, and that has a lot to do with their direction and how these characters interact with each other in the movie. So I will give her plenty of credit there as well. I mean, I do think she is a talented director. I mean, I have seen plenty of criticism online, and I feel like I kind of agree with it. Is that like Emerald Fennell, the director, very good. Emerald Fennell, the writer, maybe not so good.
I think
so.
I think she is incredible at crafting like what the scene is supposed to look like. It's just filling that with something of substance too.
Yeah, like I would love to see her work with. I would love to see her work with like a Tarantino script, for example, and see what that sort of like antic energy that a Tarantino script has can be in the hands of someone who's like just straight kinky in like an Emerald Fennell. It could be very but like when she writes, it's like this. I just want this, and I'm going to ignore everything else and it gets a little not great.
Yeah, fair.
The last thing I had that I wanted to shout out was the music. I liked it, both the score, the orchestral stuff, and also the Charlie XCX stuff. I thought was pretty good. So
the album's good.
Yep.
Agreed.
Anything else anyone wants to bring up for what works?
Title card, very good. I liked it.
Like the opening sequence,
Well,
or just the title card?
The title card.
Okay, just the title card.
But no, the opening sequence too, I think is the most interesting thing that she does in this movie.
Interesting.
I think so. Again, we're in the spoiler section. The movie opens with, I mean, you hear like sounds of grunting. You think someone's having sex. Turns out they're being hung, and they get a boner while being hung. You know, and then everyone watching just erupts in like, I don't know, they're just so turned on from this. And I think that was like, okay, we're starting off hot. Like, this is the bar that we have to like hit now. Because, I mean, you're comparing like the orgasmic state of death to sex, basically. And you're setting up this world as like one that like people are this like open with their sexuality. And then I don't know, I just feel like that was the most interesting thing.
Yeah.
And it was such a good way to start.
It was an interesting way to start that I think I would have enjoyed better if the rest of the movie reflected it.
That's the thing. The movie doesn't come close to meeting that bar again for me.
It's like the 73-9 Warriors losing in the finals. It's like you set me up for one of the greatest seasons of all time just to lose in the end. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk, unless Jasmine, you have anything else that you wanted to touch for what works, let's talk about what doesn't work, because I think
we can get into it.
Yeah, the biggest thing around this movie, the biggest detriment to it that I've seen on online discourse, and I feel like that we have kind of echoed the sentiment, at least personally, is this is honestly a really poor adaptation of Wuthering Heights. It completely misinterprets the source material, and it makes it into kind of this weird kinky love story, like essentially
it's a
like
fan fiction.
It is a fan fiction, and it's a fan fiction of essentially Romeo and Juliet that's shoved into Wuthering Heights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not good. It doesn't work. It's a complete misinterpretation of the source material. I mean, Connor, you listened to the book.
You can say read. We don't have to diminish the hours I put in.
Okay. Like, what is your interpretation of the story versus how the movie plays out?
So the benefit of like the audiobook is it'll tell you like your progress. Like Catherine dies like not even, it's like 42% of the way in.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's like there's so much more story to tell.
Yep.
And yeah, like there's, I was saying before, there's so many core themes of the book that just do not get addressed. Like, and it starts with the casting. When you have a White Heathcliff, you completely miss the core of like his character being like a dark-skinned person who is always treated like a pet, treated less than. So when he becomes rich and wealthy and powerful, no one respects him still because he's still seen as less than everyone. You don't get that here because it's Jacob Elordi.
Yeah, right. It's 6'5" statue of a man, Jacob Elordi.
Yeah. It's just,
oh,
I don't know.
Nathan's going crazy.
He's trying to get into the room.
That's fine.
He has a take, I guess. Yeah, it's just there's so many things that the book like really hammers home that the movie just was not interested in, I guess, touching.
And one of the more egregious things in the book, and I guess it'll segue. I mean, Jasmine, unless you have any other, please, if you have any other thoughts on this, because I'm going to kind of segue this into something else.
Yeah, actually, I do. So one, like, not necessarily even devil's advocate thought I had though was that if she had cast someone of darker skin color, right? And then done what she did with Heathcliff, which was just make him like slightly like angry, aggressive, a little cruel. How would she have been criticized for that? Does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
it visually, it might have been like, okay, double-edged sword. What do I do here?
And then to that point, I would say you look at what the casting of Edgar, who is supposed to be like this blonde hair, blue-eyed white person who is like kind of the statue of like what a person should be, and you cast him as like an Indian man who's like can't satisfy his wife. He has to be like kind of upshown by, you know, Jacob Elordi. It's not great.
No.
And also, Hong Chau's character is she Asian in the book, or is that another like change in the casting?
They don't really say. She's not evil in the book.
Yeah,
she's the narrator. I mean,
she's just kind of like telling like us some gossip. Like that's kind of how the book plays. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, like she doesn't stand in the way of them. Like she just kind of works for Catherine, and then when Catherine dies, she works for her daughter that you know lives in the book.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just it's. I said in my review on TikTok that the quotation marks around the title do a lot of really heavy lifting, and I think it's a shame because like if you had made this movie completely removed from Wuthering Heights and just made its own thing and like changed some plot details around, I think it's a very solid movie that works.
Yeah.
But when you attach it to an IP that's, you know, been around for 200 years, yes, people are going to, no matter how many disclaimers you put on it, people are going to compare it to the original work because you named it Wuthering Heights.
It's the cover of the book now. Like if you go to Barnes and Noble, it's gonna be on the shelves.
Like there's you can't just like be like, but it's my interpretation and it's not like the book. I just used the book's name value to get all the recognition for it, so white women would go and see it. Like
that was no joke. Actually, my hot take was that the movie wouldn't be bad if it wasn't. No, literally, if it was called anything else. And she was just like, oh yeah, like this is the title of the movie, but I loosely based it on
my experience reading Wuthering Heights as a teenager. Yeah. And then if that's fine. You can do that. Like, and then you can have all the skin rooms you want.
Yep.
To be honest, because I saw that she like when she was working with Elordi on Saltburn, she was like, yep, this is my Heathcliff. Like she had got the idea from that. Maybe I'm stepping on the toes of my hot take. This is so much more interesting if you just make it a modern day adaptation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, you know how many ways that you can try to twist this to try to take some of the elements of the book, and you can still tell, like, if you can't tell everything from the book because like nowadays, like no one really cares if like you're wealthy or not. It's not gonna like you can't not marry someone for that reason. But there's like an interesting story to tell if you want to try to adapt it in the modern day.
Yeah.
I
absolutely agree. So I want to circle back to what you were saying about before with like some of the romance and stuff like that, because like this is the problem that I have with this movie is, or one of the problems is that there's like a halfway commitment to the ideas and things. You know, we were talking about the faith, how it was, you know, the adaptation, and it was only like a little bit of the book. And, you know, a big part of this movie that is not addressed in the novel is that Catherine and Heathcliff actually have a romance. They get together, they have sex, they have a sex a lot, and then she dies. That doesn't happen in the book. They don't consummate that relationship. So to then be like, I'm going to change this key aspect of the book, but then not commit 100% to that is like, why are you even changing it at that point?
Yeah.
You know, because they're intimate a lot in the movie, but it's not explicit. It's not like, frankly, it's not very good. There's a few scenes of them just like going at it fully clothed in a car or on a table, and then it's like that's kind of it. But like that's a completely and wholly different thing from the novel. That when you're removing that aspect and saying I'm making this my own deal, you kind of have to go 100%, or it just feels lazy and unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I think the horniest part of this movie is the opening scene.
It really is. You know, it's very disappointing. And I'm not just saying that because I want to see people naked on screen. It's like, you know, when you present that idea, you just gotta commit. You gotta go all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's so unrealistic. Like no one has fully clothed sex that many times in a short period of time. It just doesn't happen. I'm sorry. That's just not a thing that happens.
And then it's still somehow Edgar's baby. Well, no, just kidding. That happened before. But yeah.
Which, to that point, I mean, why is she still with Edgar?
I mean,
they literally are like the only two people the only two families like within miles, I guess.
Yes, just and leave. Like she's like so worried about, I don't know if she's like worried about public perception, but it's like you're already cheating anyways.
Yeah.
So like just do it. Just do it. It's like Nike comes on screens. Just do it.
This is personal. Anytime there's cheating in a movie, I'm instantly out on like the characters. I can't root for them anymore.
Yeah, I am the same way.
You know what's so crazy? I recently just read a think piece on this and about how Gen Z is like so against cheating. Mm-hmm. I don't know, you guys, I guess, fall in that category.
Yes,
but
I had a very against.
But I mean, like in all media, like they will, like, yeah.
I had a similar sentiment when I was watching Network, because a key plot point in Network is that like one of the main characters is completely unfaithful to his wife and seemingly is fine with cheating and gaslights his wife into thinking that like it's okay. And I'm just like, this is not okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's not fine, obviously, but I think where I draw the line is when we're supposed to root for it.
Yes.
Yeah. That's when it takes you out. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it's like in that situation, it's kind of like, okay, this is just like a character does this. Like, you don't have to like this about them.
Right.
With this, you have to like that they are fully cheating on their significant others.
Yes, that is a distinct difference. And like, you know, while in Network I can be okay with it, mainly because it's like it is a element of the plot, and also I recognize that the movie is satire, and you know, you're supposed to be feeling those things. The fact that this movie does make you kind of root for Catherine and Heathcliff, but at the same time it's like she is just fully cheating on the person who has taken her out of poverty and given her like nothing but he seems like a good dude. Like Edgar just seems like a nice guy. I would love to hang out with him, and she's just like, I can't stand him. I must be with mysterious Jacob Elordi, who lifts me up by my corset straps.
I mean, I get it.
I will say, seeing this in theaters, it was probably like 70-30 women to men. Got the reactions they wanted.
Yeah,
when he did that, he's swooning.
Em grabbed my arm when he did that.
Yeah, when he showed up in the fog after disappearing, people were literally like gasping and like cheering.
I'm not gonna lie, I was chewing my popcorn a little more like fervently when he was like doing the thing with the
with the hands.
I was like, oh.
It was like, oh, that's
I'm like
where
upsetting.
we're going.
I'm like, you're seeing this, right?
Oh God.
I will say, I was like, because I remember Margot Robbie said like there's the moment where he picked her up with one hand and like covered her eyes in the rain, and I was trying to like find the scenes in the movie, and then when they came, I was like, I get it.
Yeah, that was good.
I get it.
But then it's like that's like the craziest it goes, and it never goes more than that.
I think the problem too is there's no real romance to it. It's
No.
just it's I don't know, it's not like you don't feel any emotion behind it really.
There's
that was
more
my problem with it.
There's more romance and tension between the younger versions of Heathcliff and Catherine than there is when they get older, and that's like not great.
Yeah.
And I think because I mean there's obviously moments where they try to build up like there's not even like a moment where like there's no hand scene, there's no moment of yearning.
Well,
It's kind of,
what about the hand around the ankle?
oh, when he's a kid.
Yeah, but then they like recreate, or later he like feels, or no, she feels it.
Oh, when she's dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's at the end. Like I need it like in when they're developing the relationship.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
The immediate like start of the relationship is like they look at each other a little bit, they're really good friends, and then like they have that moment when she's spying on the other two.
And
the other two, and then like she just goes off to the mountains to masturbate.
Yeah.
And he catches her, and then that's it. We're off. Where it's like relationship, and then
Yeah,
they leave, and then he leaves.
a lot of fingers and mouths.
It's really weird.
Just a lot of hand stuff.
Yeah, the
Maybe-
Emerald
maybe we're
Fennell
learning
of
something.
the movie is really strange.
And honestly, I do think like the hottest, sexiest scene in the movie is when he's dripping wet, goes into Isabella's window, and is just like overpowering her
Oh,
in
yeah.
that like.
Where he's like,
yeah.
I will never love you. Do
Yeah.
you want me to stop? Yeah. Now that was probably the most like
That was
intense.
It's a pretty good scene.
Yeah.
But it's like not even the romance you want to build.
Yeah, exactly.
Consent
Like it
is
should have,
key.
right? But it should have been between Heathcliff and Catherine, something like
Yes.
that. Instead, we get it
Yes.
between Heathcliff and Isabella. But
Yes.
Mhm.
And like even that scene, like you're saying, it felt the most, but there's like, you know, the implied taking off the dress,
Yeah.
and there's the consent part of it, and then there's the like
Yeah.
I will never love you part of it. Like that's all really works in that moment, and then you contrast that with everything with Heathcliff and Catherine, where it's like he's just going down fully clothed, and it's like this is not happening. There's nothing
Yeah.
real about this.
Mhm.
yeah.
It's very sad. I do want to. You mentioned Isabella. I do want to talk about Isabella because like the one change that I seriously hated. I like instantly cringed, especially was the dog stuff. But
Aw.
more her like liking it, which is I guess a change from the book as well.
Yeah, in the book she didn't like it.
yeah,
yeah.
he's like abusive in the book.
No, like in the book he's like a legit monster. Like,
Yeah.
hangs her
And-
dog,
yeah.
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And
Yeah.
in this one, he's just like he's
Kinky.
still fairly abusive, although we don't see a ton of it. You kind of get the idea, but she's into it. Like the dog thing, she's like really into. I'm like, this is no, we're not. I'm not.
Listen,
for
we
this.
were warned when Emerald Fennell takes a sexually dark turn in the third act. We were all warned.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I was not about it.
No, I didn't like it either. I mean, good acting on her part.
Yes.
Allison Oliver, but I mean, my dog is going nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hear a
He
dog
said,
and-
"Don't ever."
Don't
You
do
cannot.
that.
I am the only one that can be a dog. You can't
Yeah.
Don't do
imitate
that.
dogs. It's, does anyone else have anything they want to cover about kind of the plot detailing? Because I do want to kind of move away from that to some of the more technical stuff, but I don't want to get off this conversation if anyone
I'm
has.
ready.
I think you know what would have been really good too is if like, so the book ends with like people seeing their ghosts in the moors and like their graves are right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Great way to end the
Yeah,
movie.
that's a cool way. It's cool.
It's like such a that's probably like a very dark romantic way of saying like they're finally at peace and they couldn't have each other in life, but now they have each other in death.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you wanted to make it more faithful to the book, you don't have them consummate when they're alive, but then you get a scene of ghosts fucking.
Yeah.
And that's
Fair.
like a good way to do it.
Also with Emerald Fennell, she couldn't do the like very important thing that happens in the book, which is he digs up her grave just to like throw himself over her body. But she did that already.
Yeah, well,
So we can't have her do it again and then, run the risk of being called a one-trick pony by Aaryn over here.
I already have that take, and yes, she is a one-trick pony.
Yeah. But
her one trick is kink, and that's it. It's like if you put
And not
enough
even-
oral
It could've been
fixation
two
and dog
tricks.
stuff.
could have been 2 tricks.
it's kink and it's not
fucking the
even like
grounds.
kinky. Like it's
Yeah,
half
no.
kink.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna stick my hand in a fish, and that's
Yeah.
gonna be cool. And it's like, no, it's not.
No.
Yeah, I saw a good just one sentence of it. Is there's like so much stuff in there that's for shock value, and it's just not shocking at all.
No, like the eggs, the snail in the window, the fish, like it's all just it's like meant to be like this kind of like slimy sort of like feeling, but it's just ends up just being gross, and it's just like this is nothing. It's gross. On the technical side of things, there's a couple things that I was not super keen about. One of them being the super stark contrast in color between the mansion and the rest of the areas surrounding it. Honest to God, it felt like when she hopped over the wall and looked over the wall to see Isabella pining about Romeo and Juliet, which is a real on the nose sort of like, this is the way I'm interpreting this movie or this novel in the movie. It's like I almost felt like I was looking at like Willy Wonka, where they open up to the candy room where everything's made of candy. It's like super bright, super colorful. Everything's like sunny days, but then like on everything else, it's like super dark and dingy. And it's like, I don't know, just something about that, like in that moment, that contrast of like the sun has opened up around only the mansion. It felt like in the cartoons, like when you used to see like the rain cloud over one person's head. It's like the opposite. Just make that the opposite. Wasn't a big fan of that. The other thing that I really was surprised about is the look of this film being very digital, which is surprising because this was shot on film. This movie was shot on film, but they did something on the color grading or whatever. But it felt it felt too vibrant, too colorful at times, in a vibrance, high contrast sort of way that a lot of modern movies feel like, and not as maybe muted or less vibrant as it needed to be. I don't know if I'm describing it the right way, but there's a look to this movie that feels very digital that shouldn't.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to talk about that didn't work?
I got a couple.
Okay.
Got a couple. We only scratched the surface. No, I'm kidding. I think, there's some very noticeable ADR. But on the topic of voices, I think they're really bad at accents, in the sense that they will switch from like British to Scottish to Irish, specifically Elordi.
Yeah,
I don't think he really nailed down the accent.
Yeah.
which is interesting because he is Australian.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. I think Australian is such a strong accent to start with.
And it's very like the changes they're minute but distinct. So it's like, it's not like going from like Australian accent to English accent where there's a clear linguistic difference. Like this is like, oh, you say these few things a little bit differently that it can be tough to break out of.
Yeah. I think there was like one scene when they were at Wuthering Heights and it was just like fully broke. I think he was like fully Scottish at that point. And then I think the movie, I thought like the cinematography was definitely great. I think it was way too reliant on fog to set up like grand moments.
There was a lot of that and a lot of rain too. I noted
just
down
bad
like this
weather.
movie has rained like 8 times.
But it's always like, it's not just it's raining, it's always rain to prop up a moment that's about to happen.
Mhm.
Like every time Heathcliff is emerging, he's emerging out of fog. If they want to show off his stature, it's how he's towering over her in the rain to
Mhm.
like shield her face. It's always it's like a crutch.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Okay, well, why don't we take that opportunity to transition to the best moment? Because I actually do have a best moment, and it was Heathcliff and Catherine reuniting in the rain and the fog for the first time. That was that I think was the best looking and best scene in the movie. But I'm happy for other nominees as well.
Connor, do you have a best moment?
There's two. There's the dollhouse fade. When they're like in the room, and then Isabella's showing Catherine her dollhouse, and it just fades into the dollhouse. It's the exact same setup they're in.
Yeah, that was cool.
Cool shot. And then I did like the last scene when Heathcliff is walking down the hallway.
Yes.
It's all red.
Yes.
Kind of like blood to Catherine's dead body. Okay. Very good at setting these shots up.
Yep.
Yeah. Mine is similar. It's actually the kids being caught in the rain.
Oh, well, there we go. Yeah,
That's
that was
my
a good
favorite,
one too.
yeah.
That was a good scene too.
Yeah.
It's a good call. The award goes to a category where if we were to give one award to this movie, where would we give it? I'm going with Linus Sandgren for the cinematography.
That's literally who I have written down.
Yeah.
But I also have a runner-up.
Oh, what's the runner-up?
Allison Oliver, supporting actress.
Ah, yes. I have her coming up in another category.
Oh, there we go.
Connor, did you have an award?
I was going to agree with Linus, but if I'm going to throw out another name, it's Owen Cooper for supporting actor.
Yes, I think that's a good one too. Heat check. This is where I had Allison Oliver as Isabella. She's probably in it too much to be a real heat check, but there's not a lot of like one scene characters in this movie.
Like Zilla.
Who?
Like it's the person who got fucked in the barn or whatever.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I think that's literally like the only person who's in it for just one scene.
Yeah, they're in it for like maybe a couple scenes.
Maybe Joseph, I guess.
Yeah, I felt like Isabella was not in it a ton. It didn't have a lot of like long scenes except for like a couple in the beginning, but she was really good in the scenes she had. But really, this was a small cast, so not a ton of opportunity. Who would make this movie better? How are you recasting? Connor, you have a smile on your face. Please tell me.
Okay. So obviously this entire movie should have been recast. But I'm not going to do that because I'm going to stick to the world that she's created.
Mm-hmm.
So she wants Jacob Elordi as Heathcliff. Fine. I'm playing by those rules. In that regard, then, I got two names. One, I'm taking your boy Mike Faced, and he's going to be Edgar. And I'm sorry, Margot Robbie, you're out. Emily Bader, you're in as Catherine.
Oh,
that's a good one.
Phenomenal choice. Incredible.
More age appropriate to I guess the source material too. I mean, they're supposed to be teenagers, but
yeah,
at least a little closer. We can get more of that innocence out of Emily Bader.
Mm-hmm. Jasmine, what about you? How would you recast this?
I have only a couple. I refuse to touch Hong Chow or Allison Oliver. So
yeah, great choices.
Right.
Both
Yes.
excellent.
Okay. Right?
Of course.
For Edgar, I'm casting Callum Turner.
Okay.
I feel like he'd, solid,
absolutely.
right? For Heathcliff, I went with what everyone's saying because once I heard someone say it, I was like, I can't unsee it. Dev Patel.
Dev Patel's a great choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely great choice.
Right? For Catherine, Thomasin McKenzie.
That's another good choice. She's she's definitely older, but she looks like she's still 20. So
yeah. Well,
100%.
I wanted her like age appropriate for Dev Patel.
Yeah.
Looking at least. And also Catherine's supposed to like book adjacent would be a little more like gothic and dark.
Yeah.
And I feel like she has that look to her.
Yeah, she's
So.
really good in Last Night in Soho, and
Yeah.
definitely gives the same sort of vibe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just recast Heathcliff, and I just was like, if I were to make this like truly book material, and I'm going like this is a black character, I just went with Caleb McLaughlin, getting out of Stranger
Fire.
Things stuff,
Yeah. Okay.
and coming in and just being like a true like this is Heathcliff, and this is
Yeah.
how it is, and probably a bit darker skinned than the book Heathcliff, but like if you're gonna play into that sort of like race relation, you should just dive straight in my opinion. And I think he's a phenomenal actor. I mean, he was good in Stranger Things. He did a couple movies. One was I believe it was called The Shooting Stars, which I watched and did a review for a couple years ago, where the movie was about LeBron James and his high school basketball team, and he was one of the basketball players on the team, and he was excellent in that. I'm almost certain. And then he was also in The Book of Clarence with Lakeith Stanfield, and he was really good in that movie too. So I'm like really high on Caleb McLaughlin. I think he's a really phenomenal actor. So I think he would eat in this kind of role.
Yeah.
So then you wouldn't recast Catherine, so it'd be Caleb McLaughlin and
I mean, I just chose one for who would make this movie better. But yes, you would have to recast.
you would have to.
Margot Robbie is one of my favorite actresses. Is just, and I'm not calling her old. She's not old.
She's not. She's a very young woman. She is 35. She's quite young.
But when your character is 20 or a teenager, you're a little bit aged out of that role. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You can't. Maybe you can't.
I also think it could have to do with just like her face is like more classic and less youthful.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I don't know, but I always like her in a movie, and I think she's great. So,
yeah, here we go.
I do just want to say real quick, because I did like my name. If we do want to just make a more faithful adaptation, Cosmo Jarvis as Heathcliff.
Okay.
Fire.
If you want to go more of the Romani descent.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a good pull. It's a good pull.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, can I just say me as Heathcliff? Because I'm not. Hot takes. Here we go. This, for me, we've kind of already touched on this. This is my hot take. This is a really good movie if you completely separate the film from being an adaptation of Wuthering Heights. And it's made its own standalone thing. I came out of the theater not knowing the background of Wuthering Heights, and I was like, that was pretty good. I liked it. And then as I read what Wuthering Heights was, I was like, this is terrible. This is a horrible adaptation of this. So, like, if you had just made the exact movie and just made it separate from the book, I think it's perfectly serviceable.
Yeah, rename it and just be like, I pulled heavily from the source material of Wuthering Heights.
Yeah.
No one would be mad.
Yeah.
People make loose adaptations all the time, and there's not really an issue. The issue arises when you're like, this is my adaptation of Wuthering Heights, and I'm putting Wuthering Heights in the name, and it's being marketed as an adaptation of Wuthering Heights, and then you see it and it's like 20% of Wuthering Heights, and you're like, this is not good.
Yeah.
So
42% of the book.
Yeah. Not even, because like the 42% isn't even adapted faithfully.
Yeah.
No, it's probably like 5% if we're being completely
no,
honest.
straight up, yeah.
It takes the name and characters of Wuthering
name,
Heights.
characters, and location.
It's name, and that's about it. Yeah.
Yikes. All right, who wants to go with their hot take next?
Jasmine, you go.
I mean, I basically just gave it before, rename it, same hot take.
Okay.
It also feels like she kind of maybe took like her idea of Wuthering Heights, maybe growing up, right, is toxic Romeo and Juliet. Let's shove some Romeo and Juliet stuff in there. Let's work the source material to fit the movie, not the opposite.
Or just make an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet if you're really...
Yeah.
They've done that before. And
Baz Luhrmann made a really interesting adaptation of Romeo and Juliet that I watched in high school. That was pretty good.
Yeah. And honestly, she could have gotten away with naming it even something from the book of Wuthering Heights. Like if she called it Thrushcross Grange and just like changed
Wuthering plus
a couple
Heights.
other. Yeah, no, literally, just the second you put Wuthering in there, it's done. Then people are gonna be like, well, this is not.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And rightfully so. I mean, it's
Yeah.
classic literature. So.
Connor.
So, I mean, I had a couple. We've said most of them, but the one that we haven't, I think for Emerald Fennell to really like elevate herself and like not abandon her ideas as a filmmaker, she has to become way more perverted.
Yeah. You know what? Yes.
She got to get a little freakier.
Exactly. I think we let men get away with a lot on screen, and we gotta let the women do the same.
Absolutely.
I mean, how many times is like Tarantino gonna put like someone's dirty feet like front and center, and we're just like, yeah, it's just Quentin being Quentin.
Feet.
I say that because it's Margot Robbie, and I think it was Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But
Yeah.
Honestly, I think if she just kind of, lets herself be a little perverted, like make the audience say, oh.
And not in like a why is she fingering a fish in gelatin way, but in like a oh they're actually going there kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like maybe it's you just have to whatever you think is like the craziest thing out there. Imagine further.
It's like faux provocative is what she's going for. It's faux provocative, where it's like you're meant to think it is, but it's not truly. Like I was listening to the Big Picture talk about this movie, and Sean Fennessy, he mentioned that he after this one of the theaters out in LA was showing In the Realm of the Senses in theaters, which if you're not familiar with that movie, it was a Japanese film from the 1970s, I believe, late 60s maybe. 1976. Yep. So that movie is essentially what this movie wants to be, but it doesn't have the balls to do it. Where that is like, it's described as an erotic art film where it's basically like straight pornography, like fully uncensored pornography, but made by like high class filmmaking artists, made by an esteemed director. And it's made as an actual film. It's not made as a porn film. It's a Japanese film. If that was made like this, I think that would be the kind of provocative that you need to break out of that mold. This is like fake. It's like trying to be provocative, but it won't go that extra step. Like if she had literally just like unsimulated sex in this movie, I think that would make everyone be like, holy shit, she did it. Emerald did it.
Yeah.
I would be here for it. I think it would be a great idea, but
she dabbled in Saltburn. Like,
yeah,
Barry Keoghan fucks a grave.
Yeah.
And like dances around naked on screen for like the entire ending. Like, it's there. You just have to, put them all together.
Right. Yeah. Essentially, yeah, you have to, and we should be more, you're right, we should be more willing to allow women filmmakers to be able to go that extra mile and be provocative and not have to think like, oh, well, is this gonna, am I ever gonna direct again or whatever?
Yeah.
Because I think people like Fincher, we love people like David Fincher, and Fincher's been on record as being like, I think people are, the human beings are perverted, and I like that. I think that's interesting. And it's like, that's the kind of guy that we're letting direct movies, and he's so good at it. We should just have women do the same thing. Absolutely.
Yeah. Agreed.
It's a great hot take, Connor. It's a great take.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Is this movie ruined by technology?
Yeah.
Because
I mean, Heathcliff disappears, and Catherine's just like, "Hey, where'd you go? How'd you make your money?"
If they were like in modern day, they would have had Find My iPhone for 100%. Sure. They would have been sharing locations.
Him. Yeah.
And also, it's like when they start actually hooking up, they're just texting each other like, "Is Edward there? Or is Edgar there?"
Yeah. Hey, you up?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Literally.
I'm coming over.
Yeah.
You lose all tension that's hardly there in the first place.
And they can, and the 5 mile ride or whatever it is by horse or run is like a 2-minute drive because they have cars.
Yeah.
Just
You
get
would've
an
made it
RV
just
and
in
park
time.
it out front. Oh yeah.
Do you guys have anything for what happened the next day?
Could go from the book.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, he just becomes a bitter old man and
Yeah.
then dies.
That feels
Yeah,
like a pretty
that's-
good way to end it.
That's exactly what I would assume.
All right, which Challengers cast member would you put in the movie? Connor, you already cast one of them, Mike Face, as Edgar. I had, you know what? If we're going to be flip-flopping races in this movie, Zendaya. Do it.
Why not?
Do it. Zendaya as Catherine. She could do it. I actually
Yeah.
think she'd be very good in it.
Oh yeah.
I think you could put Josh O'Connor in this and he'd be great too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. The whole cast would be really good.
Yeah.
I mean, she's already had to juggle 2 men. Just do it here too.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you could
These 2 men specifically.
literally, it's perfect. It's actually the perfect movie if you just replace those 3 with those 3. There we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
The real question we should be asking is, should Emerald Fennell remake Challengers?
No.
No, I think that
No.
movie's
No, it'd be
perfect on its
terrible.
own. I think
Yeah.
we can leave
Luca
that.
is really good at what he does, and I
Yeah.
don't think I want to have anyone touch it.
Yeah, we're good.
It is funny. I saw like this thread on Twitter. It's like, what is the funniest like thing that Emerald Fennell could adapt now? And like some of the answers were like hilarious, or like remake or adapt.
Yeah.
Just knowing her style, it was pretty funny.
Remake 2001: A Space Odyssey, Emerald Fennell edition.
Let me see if I can find it. There's
I
one
want
that
her. I want her version of Twilight.
Oh God. Yikes.
Same cast though. Has to be Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson again.
I think you might have to kill Robert Pattinson to get him to go back to that series.
And Kristen Stewart.
And
It would be
Kristen Stu-
very.
Taylor
very
Lautner
unwilling.
would be there day one. He'd be like, my career has
100%.
gone nowhere.
Taylor Lautner and his wife Taylor Lautner.
I hate that. That honestly makes me so angry. That makes me so mad.
No, I found one. Someone says she should do the Bible next.
Oh,
Jacob.
God.
She's texting Jacob Elordi right now. Do you want the role of Jesus?
Listen,
Jesus
we saw him
question
with
mark?
the hair and the beard.
It's her adaptation. It's the Passion of the Christ 2, Passion Harder, and it's Emerald Fennell. We know Mel's on top of it already. Just get Emerald in there.
I can't.
Oh God. No. All right. Finally, last but not least, our final category before we get to our scores, the prop. What prop are you taking home?
I'll start. I want the
Okay.
leash.
Oh God. Well,
And I just need to make sure that it's got like some kind of like tag or collar on it. I mean, I just got a dog. He would wear
Okay.
it.
okay. Okay. Sure. Yep. We'll go with that. Yep.
Hey,
Thank you.
we respect it.
Yeah. Look, I'm not judging.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
My prop I'm taking is the dog itself, the Pomeranian.
Oh my
So,
God, yes.
I'll take the dog, take the leash, because that's clearly what they were using it for.
For sure.
I am taking home something a little bit different. I've been in like full wedding mode. We just booked a wedding venue. This week.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats.
So I'm taking the Margot Robbie's wedding dress with that long veil. I was such an amazing costume, which we didn't
Yeah.
talk about the costumes in this movie. On point. They were A+ costumes.
Perfect. That was part of my like aesthetics, like what I
Mhm.
was talking about with the visuals and stuff. I don't think red has ever looked better.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that long that wedding dress with the long veil, I was like, yeah, this is all-star stuff.
Gorgeous. The little
Um,
gold tooth and earring, you're gonna wear that while she wears the dress?
Absolutely.
Or were
not.
you gonna wear the dress? I'm so sorry.
I'm
Let me
wearing
not
the dress.
assume.
No,
My bad.
it's what I do in my free time. No, I'm just kidding.
Love
No
that.
judgment, but I definitely do not partake in it.
I feel
Um,
like Emerald Fennell has a role for you.
Well, I don't know if I want it, to be honest. All right, final score time. Jasmine, I'll start with you. What is your score for Wuthering Heights in quotations?
Okay. So I will say I was not looking at this movie as like a book adaptation. So I was kind of, a little like removed from that in my judgment of it. So I'm going to give it a 3.8.
3.8. I like it.
Yeah, because I thought it was I liked the movie. I just didn't, love the
adaptation
book.
part of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Connor, I like how in the doc here, not only do you not have the quotation marks around Wuthering Heights, you have spelled it Wuthering Heights, which is a movie I really want to see that maybe stars old people in their candy dishes.
You know what, though? Fair point to you.
Fast.
If you look at the font, that T looks a little like there's like an R somewhere in there. I don't know if you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you pull it up, you'll know what I'm saying. It looks like there's an R. Yeah.
I'll have to take a look. Connor, what's your score?
If you could not tell, I was not the biggest fan of this movie.
Yeah.
Not even because I listened to the book after, whatever you want to say. Even just sitting in the theater, I was kind of just bored. It's something we didn't even talk about. It was just maybe a bit too long, and I don't think there was enough of substance to really make it worth it. Obviously, big problems with the casting. Even if you remove the book from it, I still have problems with it. Not freaky enough. I didn't find the romance all that compelling. Everyone was really depressed by the end. I wasn't. I kind of just got up, got out. I'm giving it a 1.5.
Damn.
I'm not as critical on it, but like I have sort of two trains of thought on it. Is like my immediate out of the theater reaction was like, this was pretty good, and I enjoyed my time watching it. It was not freaky enough, like you said. And like some of the aspects of it, some of the technical aspects of it, I thought it looked surprisingly weird, and the dialogue was not great, but I was okay with it. And actually enjoyed my time. It was after diving into the source material that I was like, this actually is really not good. Like, and just completely misunderstands what the story was going for, and just was poorly marketed. And that really, it's a power of the marketing that like that seriously has an impact on my thought of the movie. So I'm just going to give it a flat 2.5, straight down the middle. It's like, if it stood by itself, I think I'd be happier with it. But just as it stands, I'm just like, whatever, this is fine. So that brings our total average to, I lost it. Where did it go?
It's a 2.6.
There it is. A 2.6 out of 5. That is 61st on our list.
Fair.
Just above Sharknado. Sharknado, a crazy movie where it's objectively horrible, but Connor and I both gave it 3 stars because it's a lot of fun.
It's a great review, I gotta say.
Yeah, we had a great time making that episode. If you haven't listened to it, you should go back and listen to it. And then just below Summer Rental, the John Candy film. So sits at 61st. And that is going to do it for this episode of the Filmbox podcast. If you liked what you listened to, you liked us pine about this movie for 90 minutes, go and follow us, subscribe, follow us on your favorite podcast platform. Tell your friends, let us know we're doing a good job. You can also check out our socials. You can check out Jasmine on TikTok. You can check out the First Picture House on TikTok. We're making all sorts of content. So definitely, be on the lookout for that stuff. You can also go to our website, firstpicturehouse.com, and you can go to our Letterboxd accounts. Those are in the show notes as well, so you can check all that stuff out. And with that said, that'll do it for this episode of the Filmbox podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.